these our members are just out there trying to do their best to make it safe, the city safe for everybody, and then they have to deal with all this stuff.
Union President Alex Ayala says that MPD remains short-staffed, which continues to put extra toll on officers. He also adds that police academy enrollment is down more than 50%. Still some time for Wisconsin homeowners and renters to apply for federal assistance. This is after the April storms and flooding.
FEMA says you should file an insurance claim first because they can't duplicate benefits. Eligible residents in 20 Wisconsin counties, including Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Washington counties, may qualify for help from the federal funds. Those funds may help pay for temporary lodging, basic home repairs, lost personal property, and other uninsured disaster-related needs. Wisconsin representatives and FEMA will offer one-on-one help with applications in the coming days. The deadline to apply for FEMA assistance is August 31st. Nasir Spencer, WTMJ News.
And President Trump arriving in Turkey this morning for the two-day NATO summit, where he's expected to push European allies to pay more for their own defense.
Why are we spending hundreds of billions of dollars and they're not there for us? We've always been there for them.
Leaders at the summit also expected to discuss drone and aviation contracts and a pathway to peace between Ukraine and Russia. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red. The Dow off 195 points at 52,860. The NASDAQ down over 1% at 25,747. And the S&P 500 is off 46 at 7,490. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Meet Jim and Rita.
We went on a motorcycle trip.
But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident.
They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital.
Sometime later, Rita made a discovery.
She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there?
And amazingly,
he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's.
And I had my checkbook in my hand.
But when he arrived there,
and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty.
Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty.
It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Son, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And eat pizza.
Preferably a Marty's Pizza, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do everything we can to keep the prices low. We're a family-run business, and many of our employees have families. I want to make sure that as tight as it gets, a growing family can always afford to enjoy a Marty's Pizza.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Doubleheader today in St. Louis. Brewers coming from behind last night. They took game 1 over the Cardinals 4-3. David Hamilton tweaking his left hamstring while running the bases had to come out of the game. An update from manager Pat Murphy on Wisconsin's Morning News.
We have to first get an MRI and see where David's at, and then have some guys already here. So one can go on the taxi squad maybe, and one can replace David if needed.
Jacob Mizorowski on the mound for Game 1 today of the doubleheader at Busch Stadium. All of our coverage starting at 12:40 here on WTMJ. U.S. soccer team eliminated from the World Cup, losing last night to Belgium 4-1. U.S. now joining Mexico and Canada on the sidelines. All three host nations knocked out of the tournament in the round of 16. Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. Just tapping the brakes a bit through some of our work zones, but really nothing out of the ordinary, so everything looking good. As for your forecast, plenty of sunshine. Warmer today. We'll see highs in the mid-80s. We'll be a bit cooler by the lake. Clearing nice this evening. We'll see a low down to 67. Partly cloudy then on Wednesday. We could see maybe some storms and showers late with a high of 88. And then rain and storms likely on Thursday with highs in the mid-80s. Right now, 79 degrees in Green Bay. We're sitting at 78 in Waukesha, and it's 79 in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bride.
And good morning, everybody. Good to be back in the big chair. I was off yesterday. Thanks for doing a noble job.
I heard from multiple people that they missed you, and they only listened for you.
Oh, that's not right. Whenever people talk to me about the show, I said it's a two-person show for a reason because we both like doing it together.
We do.
Not that we don't do the shows individually. I know in a couple of weeks you're going to be off for a chunk of time. I'm doing the show myself, which I also enjoy because I did it for so many years. But the point of this is, point taken, is that we like to do the back and forth. And that's what makes it fun and hopefully makes it interesting for all of you. So I will fully admit, I sort of unplugged this weekend, and I had to catch up quickly. And one of the biggest...
yesterday was a doozy.
Yes.
As far as news. So we have plenty to talk about today.
Let's go to Maine.
Let's go to Maine.
Which is a lovely state, by the way.
So I think we found the red line.
Yes, I think so.
Last month we were talking about where is the red line as far as Graham Plattner. Obviously there was other candidates that we were also talking about, Ken Paxton and all of his baggage, and the willingness. I think Joe was on here saying, this is a man who's grown. He's apologized, which is more than some other politicians have done. And then yesterday, very credible report as far as how it was corroborated from Politico on Jenny Rossicott, who was also referenced in the New York Times article from about a month ago, but this allegation was not in there. Talks about in 2021, then Graham Plattner had come uninvited to her house while they were dating and did not stop when she asked him to stop. And I don't think anyone at this point is saying, maybe in some comment section somewhere there's people saying that he still needs to stay in, but at this point it seems as though the red line has actually been crossed and he's losing endorsements. And he can't go on. He has to drop out.
Well, that's an interesting point because, their primary was in June. This has been a settled race. Collins, Plattner for, a month and a half. So this sort of is the storyline. But as we know, when someone drops out of a race like this, we obviously lived through 2024 with.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen here, right?
Yeah.
If, hopefully he drops out and the Maine Democrats get to pick a candidate then. And I don't know enough about the, let's say, sophistication or how much the movement that Graham Plattner had been building is in line with Democratic leadership in that state. I don't know what this is going to look like. Do they just go with Janet Mills? I have no idea. And that is a problem for the state. I don't know if they're going to be able to find someone who at this point can challenge Susan Collins. But that's basically, he has to drop out by Monday and then they can appoint someone basically.
So full disclosure, I don't spend a lot of time talking about other states' politics, but this was a big race.
It's a big one.
It involves potentially to take over the Senate by Democrats over Republicans who hold both houses right now. I can remember, I don't know how many months ago you shared an interview done by the New York Times journalist Lulu. I always forget her last name. I just go by Lulu. She's a fantastic journalist. She does great work. And she interviewed Graham Plattner, and talked about some of these things. A lot of conversation about a tattoo. He says skull and crossbones. Other people call it Nazi tattoo. That's where some of the apologies came out.
It's a bunch of it's like thousands and thousands
Texts.
of Reddit posts.
Yeah, and posts.
And then with the New York Times article, actually, there's a whole timeline, but it was basically then there was also the fact that he had been sexting women outside of his marriage, and some of the accounts, while deleted from his phone, were still technically active.
And he said he told his party all of this stuff beforehand.
Well, I don't know if he told all of them.
Yeah, and that's really before we hear from Grant Plattner, because he's denying this story.
But still pausing his campaign.
Yes, I think he
taking
said
a breath.
Yeah,
or whatever however
a week-long
phrased
pause, which is really all he has, basically. Otherwise, he's the candidate, right? If he doesn't drop out, he's the candidate. And I don't know enough about Maine, but I'm guessing that's not going to end well if Democrats are hoping to take that seat. Just my opinion. Don't know. But I'm curious how we got here, because every candidate is flawed in many different and unique ways. But this guy had a pretty strong track record of doing some pretty outlandish things. He blames some of it on guys being guys, military service,
PTSD,
all that stuff. As someone who, if you lived in Maine, might vote for a Grant Plattner, what does this suggest to you about candidate selection, letting some stuff go because you think ultimately the candidate is bigger than that, or it's a bigger story? What does it say to you?
Well,
because there's a lot here.
What it says to me is how hungry a certain part of the population is for authenticity and charisma and a good messenger and someone who they believe is going to go and fight for things for working class. So they are so desperate for it. And not just them, because this was a national attention.
Mega
right?
attention.
This is even after the last handful of accusations come out, it's war zones in certain comment sections of left-leaning, probably men, being just vitriolic to women who have, maybe this is a red flag. And I think this gets into a topic that we've talked about before, is women are not the sacrificial lambs for political power. And they have been, but we can't keep letting them be. But I think it goes back to that there was such a hunger and desire that they were willing to overlook. I mean, it was 154,000 voters in the Democratic primary for this guy. And there was already a lot out there that we're willing to overlook because of how electrifying the campaign felt. And so I think the big thing is find more people like him who can speak like him that don't have all of this, lot of baggage.
Do you think we'll hear from Mr. Plattner after the break, but do you think this was a vetting problem?
Yes.
Yes. Because
we know that Wall Street Journal has reported on this.
Yeah.
As far as I think it's Dan Moraff is his lead strategist, and it costs upwards of $20,000 and can take weeks to do a thorough background check. He was cheap and fast and didn't do that. The vetting process was 3 days.
Yeah, days instead of weeks and or months.
And so and knew some of he did an interview with Wall Street Journal, and the Dan Moraff did. And, he said they got some of the Reddit posts, but not all the Reddit posts. And even with the ones that he had, he's kind of shrugged.
We'll hear from Mr. Plattner, Graham Plattner, candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Maine. After this on Point Taken, good to be back. Kristen and Steve, 620 WTMJ.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the July Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save now during the Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I'm torn on this because I don't know if I want to see another quarterback wearing number 4 or number 12 or number 15.
See the world from his perspective.
I think you'd ever have to get to where it'd be like pi, 3.14 or anything like that.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
That's like back in the old days when I would walk on at Wisconsin, you got the issued gear and it was number 140. Kind of let you know where you're at.
Mark Tauscher, presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We are in Wisconsin, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios here at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. But we're talking about the state of Maine. Breaking news story over the weekend. Graham Plattner, candidates for U.S. Senate. He's the guy who won the primary June 9th in Maine against Susan Collins, who's been there for a long time, Republican candidate. Let's hear, as I said earlier, Graham Plattner's denying the accusations of rape. Let's hear from the candidate right now. A little bit of Graham Plattner's denial of rape accusations. So 2 questions for you. Do you believe him? And in the case of the political context, do you think voters will believe him in the election?
No and no. I mean, I think how do I put this? In the text messages that Jenny Rossicott handed over to Politico, in how she talked to her friend about him in text messages, I think this was like 2023. I think she called him careless about consent and being a woman who, like, I know exactly what that means. And I don't think, I mean, and in knowing how drunk aggressive men can be, I absolutely believe her.
So I don't know him as well as you know as a candidate, because you shared with me.
I mean, this is why I think I'm feeling, because
I'm curious about that, because that you're a woman, you're in that position, you know what that feels like. You just talked about the aggressiveness of men.
I think I'm probably feeling as, as torn as Jenny Rossicott is. Like so we have the for that, we'll play it in a second, because she took so long to come out with this, because she's like, I share politics with this person. And she saw the momentum of what was possible, but she also was sitting on this information. And so she finally decided, like, people deserve to know who he is. And I think that is like what I said before, as far as the feeling that people are so hungry for the message, like, that you heard from him. And like I'm one of them, right? Like, as much as I try to be objective on this show and have a cynicism across the board, I'm not perfect. I have bias, but I would say when I listen to him talk, there was things of the commitment and the passion that he spoke with about things that I also believe in. Like, even some of these prior red flags, I wanted to believe. I wanted that confirmation bias of maybe he's grown and at least he's apologized. And, he was, I don't know what it was like to go to war and all of these different things, because you just want to hang on to the hope that maybe he's as good as he sounds in these passionate speeches and how he's connecting to people. And maybe he has grown, right? Like, he did connect with all these people. That does not mean you get to be a senator.
Did the party of Democrats in Maine, did they fail the voters by not doing the things they should have done?
I think there's so much blame to spread around. First of all, Graham Plattner should have never run if he knew that he had this many skeletons in his background.
He's a confident guy. I've seen a couple interviews with him.
But that's like first and foremost, this is also on him. It's on the guy, the consultants who recruited him, who didn't vet him well enough. And it's also on Chuck Schumer. Instead of pushing Janet Mills down everyone's throat, finding another person who has this, like listening to your base and what they want. And instead of having like this safe 78-year-old candidate, find a different person that you can back that isn't necessarily this guy. And so I think there is, across the board, there's lessons to be learned.
So let's take a break. I want to ask you after the break, and I don't want to just make this about you, but I'm curious because I'm catching up to this story, and you've known this story, Graham Plattner's story, for a lot longer than I have. You've shared a lot of stuff with me. What this says to, because I do hear the hope and change part in his comments, and I've seen that in some of the interviews he's done with major media companies. That's something he focused on, and he hyper-focused on why Susan Collins was bad for Maine. But ultimately, when we're trying to assess candidates, vetting is one piece of it. But in this case, voters spoke pretty loudly.
I know.
Loudly and clearly on June 9th.
I know.
That's a record number of voters. That's not insignificant. How does it shape our future elections when you're looking for hope and change? America's angry, Wisconsin's angry, Maine's angry. How do you get to a candidate that's not going to blow it up days and weeks before an election?
Well, if it's a woman, I think they have less likely that she would have done sexual assault
Maybe that's
prior
your
to her
answer.
campaign.
We'll explore that after this on Point Taken.
Hey, is your son, daughter, or grandchild's birthday soon? WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea. Hosting a birthday party is a lot of work. No need for you to cook and organize, then clean your home. How about having your party at the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford, the area's most affordable birthday party destination? Your party room is free, with a world-class game room with over 70 games, including the easiest ones for your little ones. The pizza party packages are super affordable and include free game room credits. Whether your birthday party is for 10 or 50, the Mineshaft will host your party or your business event. It'll be the best and easiest birthday party ever. Your kids and grandkids will love you more than ever. They even have your cake. I highly recommend the Mineshaft restaurant for your next birthday party or a really fun, interactive business gathering. Reservations are required 2 days in advance. Google the Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford. Click on party planning for all the details. Birthdays are easy at the amazing Mineshaft.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities, where senior living's our expertise. Caring staff that help you when you need. Enjoy life at Capri, making friends and memories. Living life to the fullest, you will love your new home. Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Clogged drains, water in the basement. Septic and sewer problems never happen at a convenient time.
When you call Harris Septic and Sewer, a real person answers your questions, finds the best solution, and schedules service.
Hi, this is Todd, owner of Harris Septic and Sewer. Our experienced team responds quickly and works hard to find the right solution, not just a temporary fix. We offer 24-hour emergency service, and we're not happy until your problem is solved.
Get started by searching online, HERR Septic and Sewer. Harris Septic and Sewer. Fast answers, reliable solutions.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything and recreation. This week, we're talking to Pat Guyette, Huntstock, Wisconsin. Great event coming up July 17th to the 19th. Dodge County Fairgrounds at Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Legendary hunters. Great outdoors events.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Well, welcome back to Point Taken. I'm Kristen. Steve is back from his long weekend. And we're wrapping up our conversation around Graham Plattner. I hope he drops today. It sounds like the behind-the-scenes process of what would happen for the state party to pick someone is not very clear. It's yet to be spelled out. So that is something to watch. I feel really bad for Maine voters.
Yeah.
I feel really bad. I feel really bad for people who've been let down by this and how excited they were. I mean, I don't even get to vote for the guy, and it's like, and like I said, this is the red line. It should be way further. I mean, maybe earlier than this in a lot of ways. But as far as I'm at least relieved that he's losing endorsements and that there's not still, at least from any kind of like official standpoint, people who are like, nah, I think he's still the guy. I think we stick with them. Like, at least what I've seen, it
doesn't feel like that.
Yes, that people are pressuring him to drop out, and so that is good.
I think he had like a 4-point lead against Collins in the latest polling, 4-6.
It was close,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, she won last time when the polls had her down by 10, right? So who knows what that actually meant? And I don't even have a pulse on the other candidates besides who Janet Mills is. But I think just going back to the fact that we are in these positions, we kind of touched on in our 250 reflection with Joe and Bill as far as the difference between people who are meant to govern and the difference between people who are really good at campaigning. And unfortunately, in our system, you need to be really good at the latter in order to do the former. And the appetite or like the characteristics of someone who's really good at campaigning is kind of overlaps with like a sociopath, right? As far as like this like extreme confidence, like very sociable, very charismatic, like all of these things of like on the Strengths Finder score, woo, very, very high, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that they present differently than maybe who they actually are.
I would make the case when you open up races to people who want to potentially be an elected official, it's messier. They have storylines. We see it in Wisconsin. We see it in other places. There are messy storylines. And the reality is we have a president who also has a messy storyline in many significant ways that parallel this one, actually, if you think about it. The things he's been convicted of, right? Rape of a woman.
Well, not convicted. Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. People forget. He hasn't served time for it. He has some pretty significant financial penalties that he's tried to put off and delay, but that's settled.
Isn't it technically held liable is the correct terminology?
I guess. Lots more to get to on Point Taken. It's a fascinating conversation to start the show. In Maine, we got local news with Neil Doyle. Here's the latest now from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. NATO allies are hoping more of their focus will turn toward the war in Ukraine. However, a fresh round of attacks by both sides leading to the death of at least 50 people. ABC's Karen Travers is traveling with President Trump at the NATO summit in Turkey.
The president said that Putin does feel pressure and that he wants to end this war despite what we're seeing with these attacks. We have heard from President Zelensky. He has said that he wants to ask the United States and NATO for more air defense support, that's going to be a key request. He wants to have that commitment, so that'll be something we'll see when the two sit down side by side tomorrow on the sidelines of this summit.
The president expressing frustration that NATO countries didn't help with the war against Iran. 3 ships were fired on by Iran while passing through the Strait of Hormuz today. 18 people hurt after explosions rocked the Syrian capital of Damascus, not far from where French President Emmanuel Macron was staying. Prince Harry losing his invasion of privacy lawsuit against the British tabloids. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Neil Doyle. A person is dead after being found inside a burning car on Milwaukee's north side. Fire crews responding last night near 21st and Concordia. Investigators say the car was reported stolen out of Milwaukee. Police are investigating what led up to the fire and are searching for suspects. One person under arrest after a serious head-on crash in Waukesha. 2 vehicles colliding on North Grandview Boulevard. This was just after 11 o'clock last night. Multiple people were hurt and taken to the hospital. Police say one of the drivers was arrested on suspicion of operating while intoxicated. That crash still under investigation. Milwaukee's Historic Preservation Commission approving demolition of the Lincoln Avenue School on the city's near south side. That school heavily damaged by a fire last week. At this point, it's still unknown what caused the blaze. Milwaukee Public Schools has not yet announced where students and staff will attend classes when the new school year begins. And the Brewers making a couple of moves here this morning before today's doubleheader in St. Louis. They've announced they are calling up their number 4 prospect, 21-year-old Luis Lara, on the active roster. Blake Perkins optioned to Nashville. Robert Gasser also named the 27th man on today's roster. He is scheduled to start Game 2 tonight. Time for News About Your Money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red. The Dow off 210 points at 52,843. The NASDAQ down over 1% at 25,763. And the S&P 500 is down about 49 at 7,487. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. Couple of crashes that have popped up. One of them on 41 southbound. This is onto the exit to Hampton Avenue, so part of our work zone there is causing you to have a bit of a backup. So you'll see some backups again. 41 southbound starting at Silver Spring, starts to ease up once you get past Capitol Drive. And another crash here. This is 94 westbound onto the ramp from Moreland Road. Part of that crash is blocking the right lane. As for your forecast, plenty of sunshine, warmer today. We'll see a high around 87 degrees. Tonight then clear with the low down to 67. Partly cloudy on Wednesday. It's going to be warm and humid. We could see showers and storms late in the day, high of 88. And then rain and storms likely on Thursday with highs in the mid-80s. Right now it's 79 in Madison, sitting at 76 degrees in Kenosha, and it's 80 here in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1034.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your Accunet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Keep the comfort in and the weather out with beautiful new windows and doors from Siding Unlimited. For ideas, go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
It's the most wonderful time of year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
They call it baseball heaven.
Here at Ford Stadium in St. Louis.
Well, the crew is coming to test the faithful.
The 1-1. And a fly ball to center, hit well. Friedel back at the track, at the wall. Joey goes deep. A two-run shot.
The Brewers land in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:40. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
It is a Tuesday. I keep reminding myself because I, foolishly walked in to get some stuff for the show, and I was looking at the Monday folder. Because for me, it's Monday, right? I'm starting my work week, even though you were hard at work yesterday with Matt Smith. And did you have Dave yesterday?
Dave was back.
Dave Spano was back.
Talked about SpaceX. And actually, this was funny. I got a lot of feedback from the text line yesterday when I was solo, including someone who was watching the YouTube stream. And
thank you.
Sometimes I'm a pretty smiley person, but sometimes when I'm listening intently, I have RBF. You can figure out what that means if you don't know what that means. And someone texted in being like, Kristen, you look fantastic today, but you need to smile when Dave is giving us good news. And I was like, has no one told you don't tell women to smile?
I was just going to say that because what little experience I have with saying that to some women, which I would never do anymore, it hasn't gone well.
You should smile more.
Yeah, you should smile.
You'd be
more.
prettier when you smile.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there.
This
next story is interesting to me
Oh.
because whatever you think about Mitch McConnell, and he's served long as a senator for the country that we live in. He's had health issues all these weird times when he just stopped talking and it froze. He's been in the hospital for 3 weeks. There's some people they ran an obituary. Somebody ran.
So it was an accident. Was
it the
but
Hill?
It was the Hill.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, I forgot who sent this to me, but basically, because there's all these, no one's heard from him, and it just continues to
3
be
weeks.
Updates from his staff.
CPR was performed on him 3 weeks ago.
And apparently, also his wife is in China.
Yes.
So she's left the country. The Hill published prematurely an article titled, all caps, "Do not use a look back at Mitch McConnell's time in the Senate." So I don't know if that means they have news that we don't, or if they just wrote it in preparation for the inevitable. But so we don't know the status of him. And unfortunately, this is a political ending to a political life, because part of the reason that I think they're keeping this under wraps is a special election versus not a special election. And basically, is there something else? Because I know Thomas Massey's name's getting thrown around as far as someone that Andy Bashir could appoint.
Yeah.
Is that how you understand that?
I don't know a lot about it, but I think that's what they were saying. He's the longest. He's 84, first of all, which again, 84. That's a long time, longest serving Senate leader in history before stepping away from the majority leader role. This is his final term. He announced that last year. Obviously, we all remember the Merrick Garland thing where he just would not allow votes, and the president's choice was not allowed to go forward. Who knows what that would have done to the makeup of the courts? Certainly changed it. But the gamesmanship of both the status of and health of members of Congress and the impact on, because it's the margins are so narrow now, there's legislative impact on this stuff. They're just playing games.
Well, this was how far out? When did Dianne Feinstein die? 4 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
And it was the same story with her, as far as she was basically the Walking Dead, and they were keeping her alive because it was and this was the same accusations as far as it was a Senate race there for the Adam Schiff, the seat that now Adam Schiff has. But as far as Gavin Newsom had gone on record saying if he were to appoint that seat, it was going to be Barbara Boxer, most likely, because I think he said he was going to appoint a black woman. And obviously, once you're the incumbent, you have a leg up. And so at least the rumor mill was Nancy Pelosi was basically keeping Dianne Feinstein alive to help Adam Schiff's chances to become senator.
All of this stuff just drives me nuts. One, Congress has been a do-nothing Congress for a while now. This just makes and amplifies that. It makes it worse and amplifies it. Because what we're seeing is very little conversation and or legislation goes on because of these weird stories. The fact that they're in the other house, Speaker Johnson just sending them home constantly because they can't get anything done. He doesn't have a clear majority on anything. He's got Republicans breaking with Democrats now, and in the Senate the margins are very slim. We've seen how many times as the vice president come in and broke tiebreakers. You can't get anything done. And why all this matters to me, I believe in honesty in government. This flies in the face of that. Look, if he's recovering, fine. But a status report after 3 weeks that shows if he's alive or not might be a good idea. And frankly, and I get that voters elect, and it's very difficult to remove someone. If someone can't function in a job, there's got to be a timeline where they have to be removed, and there has to be a clear delineated process on how that happens, not leaving it up to whatever, we're going to appoint, we're going to have no, it should be ironclad. This is what happens. If you cannot vote, and you should not be able to be performative and just not go in session for the 3 weeks that he's out, just to protect your slim majority. This stuff drives me nuts, but I'm certainly it drives Americans nuts, because the sole role of Congress is to spend our money wisely, hopefully, and two, pass legislation that improves in many different ways, hopefully, our bottom line as a country. We're not getting that. And it drives me nuts. And I'm not a Mitch McConnell fan. The guy should have been gone years ago. He's demonstrated his inability. And I understand somebody said he's a polio survivor. Awesome. But he was elected in 84. Okay? Last time I checked, it's 2026. That's a lot of years between that start date and that end date.
What do you think would be better, age limit or
I'm starting to think
term limit?
I'm starting to think age limit and term.
Are you term limit guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, the people who vote on term limits are the people who are not going to pass term limits.
I know.
So how is that going to change? Just like the way we spend money on campaigns. The people who benefited from it, they're not going to change the rules. So where we're at. We just get more and more lax with how we perform as government officials, government entities, whether it's Congress, state legislatures, and so much of it now is performative and just misleading us in how they spend our money. What do you think? I say he should be gone.
I think he should be gone.
I wish him a happy recovery, and hopefully he's in a position to be able to do that. But CPR was performed at him 3 weeks ago with no real, other than he's recovering from his staff, no other reports. And his wife went to another country.
That's weird to me.
In the midst of this. Explain that to me.
That one's a mystery to me. I don't know enough. I mean, I know that she's. I don't know. If anyone knows more insight on that, 855-616-1620.
We'll stay on politics after this on Point Taken on 620 WTMJ.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, this is WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi from Milwaukee. Let's just have this conversation when I was off over the weekend. It's the secret, and I've benefited, obviously, losing 50 pounds. I'm on my way to losing. I'm now set a target 20 more pounds. I can do it. College weight. Going to be done this year. Milwaukee Weight Loss, they have the secret. Doctor-developed, natural, easy to follow. I did it. You can do it. Helps you lose weight naturally, safe, fast. No drugs or injections. No risk of serious side effects. It is a reset of your metabolism, just the way you look at food, how you eat food, when you eat food, what food you eat. And the program, it's just smart, by the way. That's what I love about it. It costs up to half as much as the other programs and works up to twice as fast. That's a good combination. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free, emphasizing the word free there, consultation. It's worked for me. It worked for thousands of other people in our area, and it can work for you. Here's a kicker, though. Because you listen to Point Taken, $200 off with their summer special. Book your free consultation right now, MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Picture this, a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick night after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit RacineCountryClub.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Hey, reminder, it is summer storm season, and weather damage can be a real issue at the house. So if you think you've got a problem, remember, Tri-County Contracting gives free estimates on any potential wind or hail damage. And here's the best part, they can always work directly with your insurance. It's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again, even during the storm season, with Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Going back on the theme, when we spent the hour talking about disappointments in Maine and certainly in our Congress and the Senate specifically. I guess maybe this is not. I'm going to ask you a question. Maybe this is naive, and I've watched politics for a long time, talked about it for 10 years, but I still have this hope that elected officials will do the right thing. Whether it's Maine or Washington, D.C., neither one of these stories seems like elected officials doing the right thing. In the case of Graham Plattner, he's a candidate.
When's the last time you feel like
someone did the right thing?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess, because it's like there's a lot of mistakes along the way. Like Joe Biden should have never run for a second term.
Yeah, true.
Let alone dropped out as late as he did. The conflation of power and ego and nobody can do it but me and but
I'll give you an example locally. Like I didn't vote for David Crowley, but
for Milwaukee County Executive?
No, I did vote for Milwaukee County Executive for David Crowley.
Is your vote in?
No.
Oh.
Last election when he ran for county executive, I voted for him.
Oh.
He's
you
running.
You didn't vote for him.
I'm talking about governor's race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the primary.
But you haven't voted yet.
I have voted.
Oh.
But I'm not telling you who I voted for. I tell you, I didn't vote for David Crowley.
Oh, okay.
But I have mad respect for him because I think he does it the right way. He's not afraid of offending members of his own party. He's not afraid of saying things that are maybe outside what his party's policies are or guidelines or whatever. And he still does his damn job in a very tough situation. Milwaukee County budgets are challenging, certainly a lot of problems. He shows up and then, by the way, runs a campaign for governor. I have mad respect for that. Again, whether he's going to be governor, not likely at this moment, probably. But again, anything can happen in a primary. I think he's an example, and that's one example.
So that's an example of someone you think who does do the right
Yeah,
thing.
another older example on the other side, Jim Steineke, big fan of his work in the Assembly. I think he just showed up. He wasn't afraid to criticize his own party. He was very honest, very smart guy. He's out of politics now. He was an example of someone I trusted. I didn't vote for him because I wasn't in his district, but he's a guy that I respected in the job. I respect Tony Evers. He's a Democratic governor. Again, I didn't vote for him, but I like the work that he did in some areas. I believe there's no one's perfect. There's no perfect candidates or perfect elected officials. But when you're challenged to do something outside of what your party or what you think your Democrat friends want or your Republican friends want, I respect that. I'm not confident we're getting enough of that. We're getting less of that because it's so partisan now.
You'd say Tony Evers specifically. Like, people on the Democratic side were very mad that he signed those maps.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Because the expectation was that had it come from the Wisconsin Supreme Court, there would have been better maps for Democrats. But if you think he did the right thing as far as it being bipartisan and trying to follow the process, like he did that, but he got a lot of flack from it from his side. And so is that the litmus test as far as like going against your party?
I think so.
For the sake of your morals and like a higher what's good for the state or what's good for the country?
Yeah, because I think it separates you from, look, parties are idealistic. And I've heard candidates basically are asked like 20 questions about what they would like. And if they say yes to everything, I'm like, okay, so you can't like parse out anything that you don't think is a good idea. You just want everything. Nobody gets everything. So an ability to work across the aisle, ability to sometimes accept something that's not perfect in the act of legislation, or if you're a governor, in the act of your signature, shows me something. And when I see candidates or elected officials who are just so self-absorbed, they think they have all the answers, they are the only ones, our party's a genius, other party sucks and they're evil. I don't get that anymore. I hope there's more people that think like me, but I'm not sure that's true because we're seeing the extremes still get all the attention. Donald Trump still gets a lot of press, a lot of media. He's even more control this term than last term.
I feel like, I don't know if I've asked you this before, but which reform, electoral reform, do you think would make the biggest difference on not electing, like getting rid of the fringe? Because obviously our partisan primaries is one of the things people point to.
Right.
So, but I know some people really don't like jungle primaries. Or Final Five voting or ranked choice voting or whatever. Like, is there a way that you feel like we could? Is there anything that you're championing that you feel like could be a better way to do it?
I wish there was a way to just pick the person and not have to identify party in our primaries, because you have to basically be a Democrat or Republican, right? Or independent.
So you're not registered, but that's the thing. Like you can
pick one side,
but you can only vote in one party's
You can
primaries.
also do the Green Party.
So you
or
can't
whatever.
vote for like lieutenant governor on the Republican side and governor on the Democratic side. That will spoil your ballot.
Yeah, the idea is that it prevents election hijinks or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But aren't we ultimately just picking the right person based on what we think the right person in that job would be?
For sure.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what happens in the general, though, right? It's like
Yeah,
in
I
the general,
guess.
you can go back and forth and have a split ticket vote, which I still think would have been a great name for this show.
Split ticket?
Split ticket. I still think it's a great name.
Well, we could call that
I think we have a lot of people who are split ticket voters that listen to us.
Yeah, we've got some texts on it. We'll read some of those texts. It's as you know, it's a very frustrating time for me. It's funny, you spend a lot of time talking about politics.
How are you frustrated? You just had a 4-day vacation.
That part's great. It's coming back and still talking about the stupidity of politics that's frustrating.
Well, you've been doing it for 10 years, man.
I know. Has it made me smarter or more stupid? That's the question. 855-616-1620. I'm curious to see how you respond to that. More with Kristen and Steve on 620 WTMJ after this.
It's a summer of big wins with WinFest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Just play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries and your chance to win cash and reward play all summer long. Then keep the excitement going, because all your monthly drawing entries roll over into the WinFest final drawings on September 25th, where you could win cars, dream vacations, free play, and cash. Don't miss out on WinFest, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve. I love talking about Walney Legal Group. Met these folks a bunch of times, been in their offices, and had lunch with them. They offer a customized personal experience when it comes to estate planning, wills, trusts, probate, elder care, special needs planning. They are so interesting and so smart and really good at their job. How do I know that? They've won the best lawyer in America numerous times. 5-star estate planner, more times than any other lawyer group in Wisconsin. And estate planning has never been more important. Only 16% of people, 16%, not even 1 in 5, have appropriate current planning documents. And having met with those folks there a number of times and had these conversations, understanding what happens when you're gone with the things you've acquired in your life has to be crystal clear cut, because nothing can blow up family dynamics and relationships quicker than not doing that. You need to update your docs every 3 to 5 years, according to the Walney Legal Group, or after every life event. You have to do this. Visit Walney, WALNY, legal.com. Start with that. They are busy, but they can help you start that conversation no matter what. Walney Legal, WALNY, legal.com.
I'm with Eric, Director of Research for Good Karma Brands. They have business technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Eric, what does partner mean to you?
Partner isn't just out for them. The partner cares about how we solve our problems, and it can be a mutually beneficial relationship from there on.
And I understand throughout the more than 15-year partnership between Good Karma Brands and James Imaging Systems, you have shared many core values.
Absolutely. Work hard, be honest, over-deliver, follow through, listen, teamwork.
Eric, summarize your overall business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems for me.
Outstanding. As we've grown tremendously and you guys have still been able to meet our needs each step of our growth, that's huge.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio.
At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Capital Heating and Cooling and Blingle. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk.
Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's actually still I've gotten smarter. I don't know if that's true, but I certainly have gotten more pissed off about where politics is going. And I've done like 3 public speaking engagements in the last few months, and almost everyone I started in the first couple minutes saying, here's the ironic thing. I talk about politics for a living, but I'll tell you right now, politics is stupid. It is stupid.
You know what it also pisses me off about how stupid politics is that it taints people's ideas as far as what good things government can do.
Yes.
I was having a fun conversation with a friend of mine who worked for Bloomberg when he was mayor. She's worked in the transition team for the mayor in San Francisco. She now lives here. And she's always worked in economic development. And we were talking about big ideas for Milwaukee. And the idea of like getting people to be bought in on when it works well, government can do really cool things, especially private and public partnerships. But I feel like people conflate governing with politics, and one is way more salacious and newsworthy than like the boring slog of government. And so what do we talk about more?
Yeah, we're in a pickle, as they used to say, and I don't know how we get out of it.
By the way, pickle story?
Yes, quickly.
Bread and butter pickles, so gross.
Really? I like them.
Oh, I hate them. And I gave one, Frankie, who loves dill pickles.
Didn't like
She
it?
took one off of someone's plate yesterday, and she tried to eat it. She goes, ugh, and she just threw it. I was like, that's my girl.
There you go. The pickle content you didn't know you needed at the end of the first hour of Point Taken. We're going to go a little sporty sports.
Sports.
Yeah.
Sports and a little politics.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is political, right?
It is, and stupid. All right, news is next.
What do you want retirement to look like? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, certified financial planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. For some people, retirement means travel and new adventures. For others, it means spending more time with family or pursuing passions they never had time for before. But turning those goals into a reality takes thoughtful planning. It's not just about saving money. It's about designing an income strategy that supports the life you want while helping your savings last throughout retirement. At Drake & Associates, we help Wisconsin families connect their financial plan with their lifestyle goals, building strategies designed to help support both today's needs and tomorrow's opportunities. My complimentary retirement toolkit can help you begin that process. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 guides covering income planning, taxes, and retirement strategies. Call 414-897-9522 or text the word tax to 414-897-9522 for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, we're talking to Pat Guyette, Hunt Stock, Wisconsin. Great event coming up July 17th to the 19th. Dodge County Fairgrounds in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Legendary hunters. Great outdoors events.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Night and weekend hours are required. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. Google and call the Fox and Hounds today.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
They call it baseball heaven.
Here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
Well, the crew is coming to test the faithful.
The 1-1. And a fly ball to center, hit well. Friedel back at the track, at the wall. Joey goes deep. A 2-run shot.
The Brewers land in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:40. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 11:02, it's 80 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, warm today with a high up around 87. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Neil Doyle. Cleanup continuing after those deadly storms that swept through Walworth County, killing 3 children on Geneva Lake. National Weather Service confirming that the winds peaked between 90 and 100 miles per hour last Friday when those storms came through. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Nesnansky on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Whether it's the sky getting darker, whether it's your phone going off, or whether it's just being proactively looking at the radar. When that storm is getting close, it's time to come in, whether you're boating, whether you're at the baseball game, whether you're at the party and stuff like that.
Survey crews with the National Weather Service continuing to assess that storm damage. The town of Geneva also declaring a disaster. That's the first step towards securing state funding to help rebuild. The Wisconsin Supreme Court today siding with privacy advocates in a dispute over access to voter records. In a 5-2 ruling, the court found that guardianship records used to determine whether someone is eligible to vote are confidential and cannot be released to the public. The lawsuit was brought by a conservative activist who was seeking the records to compare them to the state's voter rolls following the 2020 presidential election. A few blocks of New York's East Side evacuated this morning due to a structural issue with a high-rise building that is being renovated. That building, the former headquarters of Pfizer, was being retrofitted for apartments. That's when workers noticed bricks were falling and saw some buckling of beams on the building's 21st and 22nd floor. ABC's Aaron Kontersky is on the scene.
The FDNY shut down 42nd Street and a number of adjacent blocks out of an abundance of caution while the Department of Buildings and its structural engineers try to figure out how to render this place safe. For now, everybody is out, nobody is allowed in, and a number of buildings, including residential, commercial, even a hotel, remain evacuated.
And at this point, no injuries reported. Time for News About Your Money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything's still in the red. The NASDAQ is down more than 1% at 25,853. The Dow is off 182 points at 52,872. And the S&P 500 is off 33 at 7,500. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
There's not a bad time to better insulate your home, but there is a better time, and it's right now. Vince Vitrano here just talked with Jeff from USA Insulation. Jeff says they always get busy in the fall and early winter as everyone's concerned about keeping their houses warm. But doing a project with USA Insulation does just as well to keep your house cooler in the summer months and saving you money on your electric bills. Tell Jeff Vinny told you want the government rebates and discounts that can save you thousands on your project. Get started at usainsulation.net.
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. If you've listened to me for any length of time, you know I value staying active and feeling my best. That is why I trust Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Dr. Jens and his entire team are helping me with my lower back issue and headaches. My journey with them includes adjustments, dry needling, and soft wave therapy. I have an entire routine I'm now doing at home, and I feel better, I'm moving better, and can stay focused on the things that matter most. Whether you are dealing with back pain, neck pain, headaches, the team at Jens Family Chiropractic takes the time to understand what is going on and creates a specialized treatment plan just for you. Now is the time. Discover why many families, including mine, trust Jens. Learn more at jensfamilychiropractic.com. That's jensfamilychiropractic.com. Experience the difference at Jens Family Chiropractic.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Don't just upgrade, transform your home. From bold exteriors to breathtaking baths, Exterior Pros makes it happen. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Doubleheader today in St. Louis, and the Brewers making some moves this morning. They are calling up their number 4 prospect, 21-year-old Luis Lara, on the active roster today. Blake Perkins being optioned to Nashville. Robert Gasser also been named the 27th man on today's roster. He is scheduled to start Game 2 tonight. Jacob Mizorowski on the mound for Game 1 this afternoon at Busch Stadium. Brewers coming from behind last night to beat the Cardinals. We'll have all of our coverage this afternoon starting at 12:40 here on WTMJ. And the U.S. soccer team officially eliminated from the World Cup, losing last night to Belgium 4-1. Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. We've got a crash over in Waukesha County. This is I-94 westbound, just beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. Part of the right shoulder is blocked there because of this accident, so we are seeing a bit of a minor backup as you move through that stretch. We did have a crash 41 southbound in our work zone. Looks like that's been cleared, but still kind of tapping the brakes, both 41 north and south between Silver Spring and Capitol Drive. Your WTMJ forecast, plenty of sunshine. We'll see a high today up around 87 degrees. Tonight then, clear skies, a low of 67. Partly cloudy Wednesday, warm and humid. We could see some afternoon showers and storms, highs in the upper 80s. And then rain and storms likely on Thursday with a high of 84. Right now, 81 in Green Bay. It's 82 degrees in Waukesha, and we're sitting at 80 in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bry.
All right, well, this was a story that I don't know what we were paying attention to last week and granted, we're not a sports show, but UW-Madison appointed a new athletic director.
It's more than sports, too.
It is more than sports, and I think, it's definitely how well the football team's definitely an economic story. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how I totally missed this, but on July 1st, UW-Madison named a Wisconsin native as the new athletic director. And so I wanted to get a former Badger and our teammate, Ben Brust, in to talk about it, because I asked him yesterday as he walked by, I was like, do you have opinions on this? He goes, do I have opinions? And I was like, all right, well, then come on and share them with us.
Yeah,
because
nice.
I know nothing about this guy. So welcome, Ben Brust, host of Kyle and Brust
on
ESPN Milwaukee.
Considering that is part of state tax dollars, it's going to help NIL as well.
That is
I heard that conversation.
Come on, that's got to be something you guys talk about.
Oh, yeah. So Sean Eichhorst, tell us what you know about him.
Well, he was under the Barry Alvarez School of Learning to be an athletic director very early on in his career. So when you think about Wisconsin, a lot of people say, okay, check. Barry Alvarez has a statue. He's amazing. He's the Don. Some experience there. He was associate AD only 1 year when I was there. I think it was 07 to 11. I was there 10 to 11. So, again, I was a freshman. I didn't really know the athletic directors. I didn't play either as a freshman, but I remember seeing his face. But ultimately, where the majority of the conversation lands is his time at Nebraska as the athletic director. Coming into a school that has a strong pride of their football program, right? They still think they're living in the 90s, but they're not. But Bo Pelini was their head coach, and he had won consistently around 9 games in the fan base, although 9 games is good.
He had like a 3-1 win to loss average in his career there.
Correct.
Yes.
And so although that is good, I think the fan base is like, all right, can we take good to great? Maybe similarly to how Wisconsin Badgers fans looked at the time when Chris left and they brought in Fickle, and the expectations changed, like going from good to great, right? And then I would say I could argue they were great as well, because they went to a 2017 Big Ten title and a 2019 Big Ten title. So there was something there. How do you take that to the next level? Now, he made a bad hire in Mike Riley, who struggled at Nebraska. So that's one portion of his journey. The interesting portion right now is he was in Texas, and at Texas as the deputy AD and a director of football operations. This is the new world of college athletics that he was a part of. For a major university for football.
This is UT, not AM.
Yeah, this is Texas, right? And so that's a lot of money that you have to raise and manage. So I think when you look at it, you could be like, well, this guy really screwed something up at Nebraska. Or you can look at it in the other way of, well, he found success for a football program, managing money, being a part of the football program. And I like, in my mind, to say positive for it would be, well, I understand that Nebraska didn't go the way that I think he would have liked or the fans would have liked, but he was raising money for a huge institution. If you Google right now what the most important role of an athletic director is, it's not going to say what it said 10 years ago. It's going to say fundraising and money, and that's the number one aspect of what you need him to do.
That's the way I feel about this, because it seems like he potentially, because of his Texas experience, not necessarily Nebraska, he's wired for success. He understands the whole sphere of things that an AD has to work on now. Yeah, on-field success is great, and achieving the biggest thing, which is a national championship. Everybody wants that. Only some people get it. Only some institutions get it. This may be a deeper hire. Maybe he has all the other things that could essentially make that story work here.
You'd like to hope all the different experiences throughout the different eras will help him be the athletic director that, again, talking about an athletic director isn't that sexy or fun.
It's not sexy at all.
But what I will say is he did join Wilde and Tausch on ESPN Wisconsin, and I'm not going to say I walked away being like, wow. And I don't think you were ever going to, right? Like, it's not like he was Barry Alvarez saying, buy your season tickets now. But what I do know is, as someone who grew up in an area where I never felt connected to a football program, when I came to Wisconsin, my eyes opened up to the experience. We went to Rose Bowl, freshman, sophomore, and junior year while I was in college. Obviously, senior year, we had success going to the Final Four, and then when I was gone, the national championship the year after. I mentioned the 17-19 success for the football team. All I care about is finding ways to win football games. He's come into a spot where the coach who's been there, you're paying $8 million a year, went 4-8. I know the schedule is tough, but I don't care. 4-8 is unacceptable for the amount of money that you've put towards a head football coach. Now, getting all the other assets and resources put together where you can raise the right money, recruit the right kids, get the right kids in the transfer portal, that better work this year, because, again, if it doesn't, like, you're kind of in a lame duck situation where you have to prove that you are worth the job, Luke Fickell. Otherwise, as a new AD, similarly but different from an ed policy standpoint for the Packers, he decided to extend Matt LaFleur after his contract was going to head into that 1 year or null, and he didn't want that. But he's got to perform. And all I care about is seeing wins on the football field. You know why? Because if you win on the football field, everything else takes care of itself.
Yeah.
You already have a great Wisconsin volleyball head coach in Kelly Sheffield. They continuously make Final Fours in volleyball. You could talk about Mark Johnson. He's been amazing for the women's hockey team.
Statue him up.
Men's hockey, they went to a Frozen Four. So, like, all that is good, but the long-term effects, it'd be hard to continuously sustain that as success if you don't have the football program driving revenue as much as possible.
Can you stick around for another segment?
You can do whatever you want.
I want to ask you, as a basketball superstar for Madison, if you're angry or mad that the football team gets most of the attention. But we'll get to that after the break. Kristen C. Point taken.
The family-owned Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring line cooks, dishwashers, and third-shift cleaners. You'll make real money in a fun, busy atmosphere. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today and start next week. Visit MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve. If you're Annex Wealth Management, it's not about age, it's about a mindset. Asking for help from a wealth management firm that provides comprehensive planning and can provide strategic advice wherever you are on your journey can make all the difference. If you're watching the headlines wondering what's ahead, Annex Wealth Management can help turn uncertainty into understanding with personalized guidance and comprehensive planning. They build Annex diversified tax-aware portfolios with the aim of managing risk while supporting your long-term financial goals. Their professionals help you evaluate strategies such as Roth conversions, having that conversation right now, thoughtful withdrawal planning, important, portfolio positioning to help move forward with clarity rather than concern. They got some great educational programs. Join Annex in person for the Women in Wealth Series in full bloom, July 16th at 5:30 p.m. at Borner Botanical Gardens. It's a night of connection, appreciation, and community. Then on July 23rd, join Annex at their headquarters in Brookfield for couples in retirement. Retirement is a major transition beyond finances. Having those conversations as well. Explore lifestyle, healthcare, and shared goals. Here's what you got to do. Reserve your spot for you and a guest. Click the events tab at annexwealth.com. At Annex, we work with a great team, coordinated team with a truly holistic approach. With their expertise, you have the guidance and resources you need to help protect and manage everything you worked hard for. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management.
Are you a fan of the Brewers and WTMJ? Yes! Do you want to have a cold one with your favorite hosts on a Saturday night at the ballpark?
Yes, sir.
Join us for our WTMJ Day tailgate on Saturday, August 29th for a game against the Rangers, presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's. Enjoy food and drinks from Left's Lucky Town and a ticket to the game afterwards to snag a Jackson Churio Bowl giveaway. Register today at WTMJ.com.
Ben Brust, our guest. He's a star on ESPN and all-around good guy. I see him all the time at work here at the Good Karma Brands. So I guess I'll put it from a fan's perspective. So much attention on the football program. And that sort of drives everything, whether it's the coaching staff, Luke Fickell under the gun this year after a 4-8 season last year, as you talked about earlier, and all the other success. But the AD is responsible for all of that. But again, the hyper-focus on football. You're a basketball star for Madison. What does that make you feel like? It's like, is that just the nature of the business now? Football wins, everything else is just sort of tag along?
I mean, a little bit different because when I was playing, we were able to go to a Final Four.
You guys were good.
For the first time since 2000. And then they went again in 2015. So that was an experience where students were able to experience great football and basketball at the same time. So that was obviously creating an unbelievable environment. But even sitting here right now as someone who's an alum of the basketball team, I'm not like, I know Greg Gard's doing a great job of the transfer portal. I know the conversation is they want to see him get to the second weekend for the first time since 2017. But even in my mind, it's football. It's football. It's football. It's football.
Is it because football can bring in so much more money? Because obviously so many more people can go to a football game?
I think it's just because it's the nature of the state. This is a football state at the end of the day. People have traditions on Sunday. Every morning when they wake up, they know what they're going to do to get ready for a Packer game. People have traditions every Saturday that there's a home game in Madison in Camp Randall.
Even people who never went to UW-Madison.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like myself, as somebody who never went up to Wisconsin until I came here, my eyes opened up to this whole new world. I was like, this is amazing. You're telling me on Saturdays in September, in October, it's beautiful outside. Now, I didn't get to enjoy them as much in October because then we started practicing and started gearing up. But we usually have one game or two games in September where we could immerse ourselves in that experience. And that experience is unmatched. And when you have a great product, you have the environment, you have the fandom, you have the tailgating, you have everything you need to create an unbelievable experience that keeps you coming back for more. Winning helps that, right? I think it's still fun to go up for a weekend and get together with people who are alumni, but it also drives people who aren't alumni to it because it becomes an appointment viewing thing where it's like, I can't miss a game at Camp Randall. I don't care who they're playing. The team's good right now. If I can get this ticket for this game, I got to do it. And there's none of that right now.
Is this AD hire a safe hire?
Safe-ish. I wouldn't call it full safe, but I would say safe-ish. I mean,
got
again,
the pedigree.
Anytime in Wisconsin, it feels as if they have Wisconsin in their background, grew up here or was here, you're going to call it safe. I thought it was an opportunity to maybe go outside the box. I know they did that with football with Luke Fickell, but were you able to maybe get somebody from a different organization? And I say organization because it's what it feels like in college athletics now. It's basically run like a professional sports team. Could you get somebody who had success that was a bad program but had success in NIL? There's examples of teams that were so bad over the last 20 years that have come into the forefront.
Well, isn't that that's Indiana, like the reigning
Indiana,
national
obviously, like
right?
Vanderbilt, you wouldn't think was a good football program, but they did a good job of finding ways to put a successful team out there relative to where they have been. So that's where I'm leaning into the fact that he was at Texas, right? And if he's got the Wisconsin background and was around a powerhouse SEC school to raise money and see success there, I'm hoping that bridging the Wisconsin and the experience plus the fundraising equals success for Sean Eichhorst and the football team.
Where do we rank currently when it comes to fundraising? Because I know like Michigan State had the CEO of Acrisure Yeah, they donated like $230 million or whatever. There's
Cuban wrote a $30 to $40 million check after the first year of showing success. So
where do we stand? And isn't this part of the criticism for McIntosh? Because like he didn't return people's phone calls who wanted to donate, right?
Yeah, that's the thing is ultimately that's why I led with what I led with from the job of an AD. It's not what it used to be. It's not as much administration as much as it is relationship building, donor base building, fundraising. And so that's obviously where I continue to just go back to the same talking point that I have, because it's all we really have on him for in this era.
How does that make you feel as a guy who played?
Jealous.
Okay. I was going to say, as a guy who played, and
I
your
know
teammate Nigel Hayes was part of the lawsuit, wasn't he?
Yes, and I remember when I was gone, he was maybe a junior at Wisconsin College Game Day, had come to Madison. He was holding a sign with his Venmo or something, got in trouble for that. But like, I know some of the figures of what some of these players are making, and it's an insane amount of money. And I don't blame them, because in this, if you can get it, go get it. But I'm definitely jealous, considering how much success.
Is there any part of you that thinks there's a better way to do it? Or are you like, this is what it should have always been?
Whatever I think doesn't matter, because what felt like was going to get better in terms of regulations and whatnot, it has not gotten any closer. There's supposed to be like third party. I think it was Deloitte or something was going to like look at all of the NIL deals and make sure it's fair market value. But who's to say what's fair?
Yeah.
Right. Like how do you say what's fair for a kid to get on an NIL endorsement? But it's really it's not even NIL. That's the one term I hate. It's not name, image, and likeness. You're just paying players. Is what it is. Yeah. It drives me nuts. So like in this NIL era, it's not the NIL. It's just paying players is what it is.
You can hear more of that. Kyle and Bruss coming up at 2 p.m. this afternoon.
Kyle is back from his honeymoon, so I will have him.
That's
for the
right.
first time in
you finally
like
married that girl, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
It was like 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
That's not that long.
Well, I just got a new producer who's been with his girlfriend for 9 years. So.
Oh, you got to roast him.
He's new. I got to make sure I can roast him.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, let's find out the backstory on that one. Ben Bruss, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, quick break here. Point taken, 620 WTMJ. Steve and Kristen.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. My motorized retractable awning is already saving me from that hot summer sun. I love that I can enjoy my patio year-round thanks to Comfort Awnings. I just retract it when I want the sun and extend it when I need the shade. Comfort Awnings even come equipped with sensors that detect rain and strong winds. This year, reclaim your outdoor space for your friends and family to enjoy every season Wisconsin has to offer. Right now, get $250 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
I didn't pay any attention to the royal wedding that happened at Madison Square Garden. Some singer and football player got hitched.
They got hitched. I didn't pay attention. I was waiting just to see what would come across my social media. I wasn't like actively waiting for leaks and things to come out. What was interesting though, as far as a conversation I had over the weekend as to why, because I think a lot of people were like, Madison Square Garden, like why? What? It's like an old arena.
Total control.
And that's what we're talking about. The fact is, like, if you get married in a closed arena, no aerial paparazzi like snooping in on things. They obviously have like facial recognition cameras inside of the arena, so they have they're fully aware of who's in there at any given time. I think I was talking to David Caruso yesterday, local event planner extraordinaire, because he was waiting to come on midday, so we were talking about it yesterday. And he confirmed that he had seen somewhere that they forced everyone who came in had to put their phone in one of those,
like a concert.
Yeah, like a concert where you can't take pictures, you can't do anything. And so there hasn't been a ton. There's certainly not been any pictures. The only pictures I've seen is people who were invited in their outfits like before they got there. But it was interesting because, like everything, the prediction markets had something to say, or at least something to bet on when it came to.
What were the bets?
So. Some of the bets, there was everything from the date to the guest list, and there was over $6.3 million in total trading volume over platforms like Kalshi and Polymarket. So what's interesting, though, is most of the bets were coming from women who had been, who were big Taylor Swift fans, and were like brand new accounts, right? Like they had not had any history of betting before they got in and were making bets on different things. So part of it was what they were going to wear. So I guess we know that they both wore custom Dior. So her dress and his tux. So some people won on that. I think people were predicting if there would be a bridal party or not. There wasn't. Her brother was her man of honor. And then Travis's.
That's different.
I would have had my best friend's a guy, and so we didn't do bridal, we didn't do it at all, and so he gave a speech at my dinner. So there's no bridesmaids, but I guess there was bets on the guest list, like there was a bunch of different things, and so that's a fair amount of money that people won over the weekend for that.
As I said before the show, I think it's all about marketing. She's going to somehow capture this and sell it. Could be a film.
Oh, there's probably a documentary or a docuseries or something.
And I would bet that these markets also have bets on how long the marriage lasts.
That feels like a long thing that you have to hold out for, right?
It's a long play, yeah.
It's interesting because I feel when this relationship first sprouted and when they got engaged, like as someone who found the love of my life late in life, I was very happy for her. They seem very happy, but there is a lot of spectacle around this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
This is pomp and circumstance.
Yeah.
This is like as big as it gets.
I don't know if this kind of wedding helped much as far as the speculation that this whole relationship is a PR play.
Why I called it a royal wedding. All right, Neil Doyle coming up with a local update. Here's now the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot.
I believe that it's time for him to drop out of the race.
New York Mayor Zoran Mamdani, the latest Democrat to bail on Maine progressive Graham Plattner, who is taking time to reflect on a Senate campaign after a former girlfriend accused him of entering her home near blackout drunk and raping her. He denies it. Oil prices are back above $70 a barrel. Stocks are tumbling after Iran fired on more ships today in the Strait of Hormuz. At the NATO summit in Turkey, President Trump criticized NATO members for not supporting his war with Iran, and he said he's dropping sanctions against the host nation, which were put in place when Turkey purchased a Russian missile defense system.
We don't want to sanction friends. It's very simple.
Bricks have been falling from the former Pfizer building in Manhattan, which is being turned into apartments. Steel beams buckling on the 21st and 22nd floors. The area evacuated. Charlie Kirk's accused assassin. Tyler Robinson back in court in Provo, Utah. Pre-trial hearings. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Neil Doyle. A person is dead after being found inside of a burning car on Milwaukee's north side. Fire crews responding last night near 21st and Concordia. Investigators say the car was reported stolen out of Milwaukee. Police are investigating what led up to the fire and are still searching for suspects. Wisconsin homeowners and renters can now apply for federal assistance after severe storms and flooding in April.
FEMA says you should file an insurance claim first because they can't duplicate benefits. Eligible residents in 20 Wisconsin counties, including Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, Kenosha, and Washington counties, may qualify for help from the federal funds. Those funds may help pay for temporary lodging, basic home repairs, lost personal property, and other uninsured disaster-related needs. Wisconsin representatives and FEMA will offer one-on-one help with applications in the coming days. The deadline to apply for FEMA assistance is August 31st. Nasir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Americans are becoming less trusting of other people with each younger generation. That's according to a new Marquette University Law School poll, finding 77% of adults born before 1960 say most people can be trusted, compared to just 35% of those born in the 2000s. Researchers say the decline in trust is not linked to social media use. Poll also found younger Americans remain willing to meet new people and date despite their growing skepticism. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything's still in the red. The Dow off 185 points at 52,870. The NASDAQ down 175 at 25,945. And the S&P 500 is off 21 points at 7,515. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads. Your WTMJ Time Saver traffic still dealing with a crash over in Waukesha County. This is 94 westbound, just beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. Looks like a car went off of the roadway, is sitting on its side. It's not in traffic. It is off the road again. So crews are still on the scene there, though. Looks like a tow truck is there trying to get it out. So is causing a bit of a backup in that stretch. Again, 94 westbound, just beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. And we're seeing some slowdowns in some of our work zones, both 41 and 94. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Everything else looking good. As for your forecast, plenty of sunshine. We'll see a high around 87 degrees, and then tonight, clear conditions with a low of 67. Becoming partly cloudy throughout the day Wednesday. Warm and humid. We could see showers and storms late with the high of 88. And then Thursday, some more rain and storms likely with highs in the mid-80s. Right now, it's 81 in Madison, sitting at 78 in Kenosha, and it's 81 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:34.
Academic Mortgages and Equals under NMLS ID 255368.
Rates are a little stuck, but what if you could save $2,000 or more on your mortgage payment in the next year while we're waiting for 30-year fixed rates to come back down? That's exactly what we just did for Amanda, who bought her home last summer with a traditional 30-year fixed from Accunet at 6.99. With current rates now closer to 6.5, we reached out to her with two options. Save $90 a month or just over $1,000 a year on her $226,000 loan with no loan costs, or save $2,200 in the first year while we wait for rates to come back down. She chose door number 2, which is what we're calling our Rate Buster Refi. It's a 30-year fixed rate loan with an effective rate of 5.88 for the first year and 6.88 for years 2 through 30. The APR is 6.89 with 25% equity and all the other right stuff. Hey, don't just sit there waiting. Click on the blue button today at Accunet.com and find out how much you can save with the traditional no loan cost refi or our new Rate Buster Refi. That's ACCUNET.com.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. Ridgetopexteriors.com. That's Ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment,
development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
A lot of folks spending some time at the local establishments watching the World Cup games, U.S. team. And you spent some time at, Nomad?
I went to Nomad last week.
Yeah.
We watched it at first half at a friend's house last night and then second half at home because Frankie has a bedtime.
And in my neck of the woods, lots of attention. I saw a couple local stories over the weekend on local TV with Moran's Pub, South Milwaukee. And joining us on the hotline, James Moran, owner of Moran's Pub. Welcome, James.
Hey, guys.
All right, so I'm love this story because one, I'm a big fan of local business, and I love the way through social media, through your interviews, and all the things related to this World Cup performance by the U.S. team, you celebrate the connection between business and community. How much fun was presenting this to your customers?
Oh gosh, it's been an unbelievable experience. Just this whole World Cup, the impact on us, our neighbors. Azteca, Mexican restaurants across the street, and then some of the other local businesses that we've been able to promote along the way by, just offering half-price beer if you go to the Bakehouse 23 on Milwaukee Avenue here in South Milwaukee. You buy any product, bring that receipt over to us, and we'll give you a half-price beer. And they ended up selling out their bakery products in about 2 hours. So that was such a great success, and it felt really good to help someone else out that we continued doing that with some of the other businesses on the street.
So, James, paint the scene for us, for people who maybe haven't seen any of the news coverage that you've gotten so far, as what it feels like when you show up in South Milwaukee on that little main street and that main drag. How many people have been there? How big are the screens? How much seating is there?
Well, the screen is as big as it gets, and they've been elevating it up. Every game we have to take it higher and higher because there's more people coming. It's as far as seating goes. We're just letting people bring their own chairs, their own fold-up chairs. I mean, we are a small mom-and-pop shop. We're not a chain. So, and this has really been put together by volunteers from Oak Creek, South Milwaukee, Cudahy, Franklin, the majority of the people that have really helped put this on. If it wasn't for the volunteers and our staff, obviously, it wouldn't have happened. But, people just come early. We actually had people showing up 3.5 hours early yesterday to kind of stake a claim and get their spots, shall we say. So it just started building up really, really early. And as you can imagine, by game time, it was a lot. I don't know if it's 1,500 or if that was more. I don't really know.
It was big crowds. Yeah, it was good. And
yeah.
I interviewed, I think, the last World Cup, right? Didn't you come in the studio with me? Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I love this connection to your community. So South Milwaukee, I was the mayor of Oak Creek. We did a lot of fun stuff. We didn't do this, but I love the fact that you're working with your community. They're shutting the streets down for you guys, right?
Yes. Yeah. And typically, we started planning this back in March, right after St. Patrick's Day, the block party we held for that. As soon as that ended, we switched to World Cup. It took a good couple months to kind of get everything approved. We had to get signatures from the businesses, as you can imagine. And obviously then with the US progressing out of the knockout, into the knockout stage, the city were really, really supportive in turning that around in just a matter of hours. So Lisa Pieper, the older woman here, obviously Mayor Briesmeister, the whole crew really, really, really helped us out and were phenomenal in pushing this along so quickly for us.
So has turnout been substantially larger than it was 4 years ago?
Yes. Actually, 4 years ago, we held one in Drexeltown Square.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, USA were playing against England, and it was on Black Friday. So, we held that, and it was a great turnout. But we really wanted to do something, and I learned from how to put the events on, and then we just started holding them outside the pub and trying to help, the other businesses on the streets, pack them out as well. So, it just keeps growing, and there's really nothing to compare it to. I've never been in this situation before, and now we have the final coming up here in a week and a half or so, and we're doing it again for that.
Okay, so that's the next game that you'll air, because obviously the men's team, they lost last night. But so you're not going to continue to do it for some of the quarterfinals, semifinals. You're just the next big event's going to be for the championship.
Yes,
Okay.
it'll be for the final. And to be honest, I welcome the rest. I'm sad the US lost, but we are physically and mentally exhausted. This has been put together by myself and Gina. She's a math professor full time, but she's been helping do all the operations behind this, and it's been wonderful. My daughter, she's working full time at a PT place. She's coming and helping. My nephew's been here. My niece, my nephew, and their friends. We had South Milwaukee cheerleaders come out last night as well to get the crowd going. So it's just people are just reaching out all the time to ask us if they can help, and it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling to know that so many people have our back and are willing to, keep this alive and keep it moving forward. And now, we're still busy. Don't get me wrong, we're still busy for the games, but compared to these block parties, we can handle anything now inside.
It's changed. It's effectively changed your business model, right? You're looking at big events and being able to connect to the community beyond the people can actually fit into your establishment.
Yeah. It's a good problem. It's a really, really nice problem. And like I said, now we got the final, but I've got customers coming in now and they're asking, can you do this for a Packer game? Can you do this for the Brewers in the playoffs? And I take a breath and I'm like, that sounds good. But I kind of just do one game at a time. So once we get the final out of the way, then we can start looking at other things and maybe trying to include other businesses in the community to get involved as well.
All right, James, before we let you go, one short question. Obviously, we can hear your accent, but of the teams who are left, who are you rooting for?
Well, now the US is out of the way, now that Mexico are out, those are the big teams we get a lot of support for. England, I'm from Birmingham. My family are from Ireland, which is why we have an Irish pub. And I love my heritage from Ireland too. But I grew up in England. I was there for 20 years and then moved to Wisconsin now 30 years ago. So I'll be able to support England now.
We'll be able to support England. Okay. All right.
I love the story. Yeah. Moran's Pub, for the folks who don't know where it is, what's the address?
912 Milwaukee Avenue.
Right downtown in South Milwaukee. I love South Milwaukee. It's the neighbor city to Oak
That
Creek.
whole street is so cute.
It's amazing. And he's right about those there's a lot of really cool small business, and he's connecting, key word for him. James, get some sleep.
I will. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Appreciate it.
All right. Check out Moran's Pub for the final coming up in, a week and a half or whatever it is? Is it
the 19th.
19th. All right. We'll take a quick break here. Point taken. Steve and Kristen on this Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday, my Monday, right here on 620 WTMJ.
You take pride in your Milwaukee area home. So why let it disappear when the sun goes down? At Blingle Premier Lighting, they create breathtaking landscape lighting that transforms your home into the showpiece of the neighborhood. Elegant uplighting, softly illuminated walkways, architectural lighting that highlights the beauty you've already invested in. Landscape lighting doesn't just make your home look incredible. It adds curb appeal, increases perceived value, improves safety, and creates an experience you enjoy every single night. In fact, it's the one thing homeowners never realize they want until they have it. And once they do, they can't imagine living without it. From luxury landscape lighting to permanent holiday lighting and patio lighting, Blingle designs custom systems built specifically for your home. No hassle, no stress, just a home that looks absolutely stunning after dark. See us at blingle.com/MKE. Blingle Premier Lighting. Your home will never look this beautiful. That's blingle.com/MKE.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
The welcomeness. People are so friendly. If you have a problem, you can go to anybody.
The community and the sense of safety provided for my mom and dad, and it's just like the most wonderful place to be.
They're just delightful, everyone. I don't see staff, I see friends. Aww. And I really do feel that.
And you couldn't live in more beautiful grounds.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Ready for a weekend you won't forget? Get to the Brewers Series against the Rockies Friday, July 24th through Sunday the 26th. There's a game for every fan. See a Brewers postgame alumni legends game on Friday. Then collect a Brewers Guess Who giveaway Saturday night, courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Looking for an unbeatable family day? Join the crew Sunday when the first 5,000 kids get a local artist t-shirt giveaway designed by Unfinished Legacy. Get tickets at brewers.com.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
You know, the political piece of all this stuff with the World Cup is obviously Trump's intervention into the red card suspension.
We talked about it a fair amount yesterday.
So what was the consensus from the text line and your thoughts?
The consensus from the text line, I think, from yesterday was just that the
get
reality.
It done, Mr.
No,
President?
I think a lot of it was a reality of it taints. It felt tainted, and I don't know if we'll ever have any interviews with the players, but they played terribly last night.
They weren't good last night,
right?
No.
Like it's not. And I again, not a soccer expert. But I was sitting in the first half when we were playing at a friend's. We were at a friend's house, and the friend is a soccer expert, and even he, who was not rooting for Team USA, he's an Argentina fan. He was like, this is not how they've played this whole tournament, as far as like how sloppy they were, how slow they were on defense, like all just like totally off their game. And so I don't know if there was some kind of psychological thing because there was so much political drama leading up to the game that threw them off. But after, again, so much political drama from Sunday into last night's game there was a lot of layers to that story. And then to come out and be like, well, I guess it didn't matter.
He said he just asked the FIFA president to consider the suspension. That's what the president said. I mean, what was he supposed to do? He knows the guy. He's obviously was part of the effort to bring the World Cup here. Whether he got it done or maybe just they realized that was just a silly.
Well, they didn't realize that it was silly because they didn't overturn the red card.
They don't generally do
right?
that.
They
ever.
they just suspended the red card.
Doesn't suggest the power of Trump, man. Even in that situation, start flipping the results of player suspensions and results of games.
But it didn't matter in the long run because they still lost 4-1.
I don't blame it on that. Credit the other team; they played a great game.
No, they did. But I this is why I probably should have asked James as far as the same team who had been showing up against Bosnia, against Paraguay, against who's the other team that we beat? Like the games that we won that felt like, oh man, this team came to play. Had that team showed up last night, how much closer would it have been? Or was Belgium just actually that much better than the U.S.?
I think it's the latter, but I'm proud of the team.
For sure.
I mean, they haven't done that in 28 years.
This is, and continuously, this is the conversation that comes up, right? As far as ideally, there are kids watching who now are like, I want to be Balogun or whatever, right? They see these guys and they choose that soccer is their sport. Our issue in this country is that there's a barrier to entry now because youth sports are becoming so expensive, right? And so like soccer has always been like a working man's sport that really all you need is a ball, kind of like similar to basketball, but like, this is favelas, right? Like soccer is a sport that anybody
It's
can pick
light
up
on
and
the equipment
play.
side of things. Yeah.
But now, because private equity and all these things, like the variables that have led to boxing probably talented athletes out because they can't afford to actually play.
I got to say, the president, he's all about the one phone call. He made a phone call and something
One call,
changed.
that's all?
Yeah, I've heard that before. We'll take our final break. A point taken on this Tuesday after this.
Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management, a fee-only fiduciary.
Fee-only fiduciary really further separates the folks that either say fiduciary some of the time or best interests altogether. And it's not just that alone. It is, of course, everything else that we can bring to the table that just isn't asset management. It is estate planning, tax planning, financial planning, all of it wrapped together in one transparent fee.
Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management? Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Hey, we all know joint pain is awful when you're the person who's fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only ones affected by it. Maybe you love someone who struggled with joint pain, or you see what they don't say, what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July. It's time to be outside, moving, playing, living, and you're or they're sitting it out. Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Let's talk about getting your life back. At QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee, 2 locations, by the way, Mequon and Greenfield. That's what's happening every day. I did it last year, saved my elbow. People were struck in the cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, back, elbow. They're finally stepping out of it with regenerative treatments done right in their offices. No surgery, no long recovery or putting life on hold. Just real relief. The inflammation goes away. The pain lets go. I hear it all the time, not just from patients, from people around them. He's back. She's herself again. So if this sounds like you or someone you love, go find out what's possible. QC Kinetics offers a free consultation to see if you're a good candidate. Find out for yourself. Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
We practice law locally, regionally, nationally, and even globally, but downtown Milwaukee will always be our home. I'm Susan Lovern, CEO of Umbrison and Roper. We've enjoyed watching downtown grow for decades, and we're thrilled to be part of its bright future.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Tell them you want hardwood, but make it affordable. Vince Vitrano here for Hunt's Flooring. A lot of people think hardwood flooring is out of their price range. We did. Then we visited Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Right there on Highway 100, Hunt's has a large inventory of hardwood in stock at discounted pricing. We just got Phil to show us around, see what he had priced to move, and we locked in a great deal. We were able to do our entire first floor. These are in-store deals only, not something you find online. Stop in, take a look, tell them Vinny sent you to Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield.
My name is Sherry, and I'm a real client of Gruber Law Offices. Gruber Law Offices took care of everything so I could focus on getting better. I only really did one thing, and that was call them.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Stay informed with what's happening in the Badger State and beyond with Greg Metzik and Jessica Ty on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Why did he do this, allegedly? Well, he was trying to cash in to clear his gambling debts, but the Department of Justice is onto it.
Sounds like if he is convicted and he did indeed do this, he just got in way over his head.
Join us each weekday from noon until 3 p.m. or catch up anytime on our YouTube page or the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
We talked a lot about politics first hour. Graham Plattner is one of the biggest stories in national politics right now. What will happen in Maine?
Should I look up and see what the betting markets say as far as
yeah,
if and
whether
when
he's
he'll
going to
drop
drop out? I think he's going to drop out, but he's got to do it quick. And we sort of had a sporty last hour on talking about the new hire at UW-Madison, the AD, and, of course, World Cup, hysteria. And I'll go back to what I said before. James Moran is an example of somebody who gets it, a local business owner who's trying to figure things out. In an ever-challenging bar restaurant environment, he's doing something unique. And I used the word community like 3 times in that interview because that's what it is. Everybody has to start thinking about community in every sense of the word, whether it's politics. Who are the people in your community that are shaping your future? They don't want to just bitch about the past. They're actually shaping things forward. So when you look at elections now going forward, who are the people that are shaping your future? They don't spend all their time bitching about stuff that already happened. This is my new passion. I'm forward thinking. I demand it now. And if you come to this show or you come at me with, oh, so-and-so happened under Joe Biden or so-and-so happened under whatever, what do you got for me going forward? What's your next big thing?
Done with whataboutism.
It's stupid. It was stupid when it was first used. Those arguments continue to be stupid. And I am looking for candidates and elected officials, people who are understanding how pissed off people are, right? We're pissed off. We're angry. I don't want to spend more money than I have to. And I'm not complaining. I'm in a good situation. But not everybody is. So stop thinking about yourself so much. I know this is a speech, but I don't know why I got so worked
I
up.
don't know how you got here, but
I don't know, but
I'm not mad about it.
I'm passionate about it. I think that's the thing. Maybe it's because I was
I
offered.
think you started talking about community.
Yeah, community, man. Bring us together with real ideas that move us forward. That's the message. I should run for something. I'm just kidding. Not going to do that. Although people ask. They still ask.
They still ask.
Yeah, but not going
I thought
to.
you wanted to be like a speech giver.
I'm going to be a speech giver. Hell of a speech. I will get them off their feet.
Standing O.
That's my goal, always.
Always. Shed a tear, standing O.
Yeah.
Run through a wall.
You know what? Done. That's my messaging when I do.
Once you get your new, like, stevescafidi.com, it's going to be the header.
Absolutely. I sell it, and I say it over and over again. We're out of here, but we're doing another show tomorrow. No worries. We'll be back.
We'll see you tomorrow.
That midday show's next.
For more than a century, curative care has been